What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Anime Double Hunt, and I hope everyone's having an awesome day, man. No Jujutsu Kaisen chapter last week, but we are back, man. Gege's gotten his rest, and he's back, and Gege has some heat this chapter. Yo, Kenjaku, bro, what are you on, bro? Gege has came back with some heat, man, and I'm so intrigued to see what Kenjaku's next move is, man. But before we get into that stuff and all that went down in this chapter, if you're new to Anime Double Hunter, make sure you subscribe and join the family. Here on this channel, we cover all sorts of awesome Jujutsu Kaisen content, character analysis, breakdowns and whatnot. So definitely subscribe and join the channel. Feel me? Drop a like if you end up enjoying the video, and comment down below what you thought of the chapter and your expectations going forward, moving on to the next chapter. With that being said, let us begin. So we start the chapter off right where we left off with Yuji and Higuruma. Higuruma calls in his Kogane, which absolutely look adorable. Higurama's Kogane has a whole mustache. Higuruma tells the Kogane that he's adding a new rule. He wants to make it possible for players to give points to one another, and of course these points will count towards the point change mentioned in rule number 8. Higuruma knows his stuff. Higuruma's mustache Kogane approves. And now we have ourselves a new rule. Rule 10 now. Players can give any amount of points they want to another player. And Yuji, Yuji's relieved, it seems. I don't know what he thought Higuruma was planning to do, but he's relieved, that's all I know. Higuruma then goes on to tell Kogane to give 1 point of his to Yuji. The Kogane then transfers that 1 point to Yuji. Higuruma then adds, this way we can both keep our curse technique for at least 19 days. Following this, Higuruma leaves. He tells Yuji take care. Yuji then tells Higuruma, what are you doing? If it's alright, we could really use your help. Higuruma then says, my surplus 2 points came from the judge and prosecutor I killed before coming to Tokyo. As you can see, Higuruma is still guilty of his actions, and possibly before Yuji, he was ignoring everything that he's done, or better yet, turn a blind eye. But he's starting to come to light and realizing, even though the world is a fucked up place, and no matter how hard he tries, it's nearly impossible to give everyone, justice, proper justice. His way of going about things was totally wrong, and it does not help his cause at all. And as you guys can see, he's totally feeling the regret. Higuruma then adds, I may turn myself in once the barrier opens up. Until then, I'll think about what I should do. Also, I'll likely end up hating myself even more than I do if I were to stay by your side. I'm sorry, it's not like I'm blaming you or anything. Later, and Yuji just has this depressed look, and that honestly made me sad, man. I hope Higuruma survives the Culling Games, and in all honesty, I want Higuruma to survive till the end of the series and probably become a judge for the Jujutsu Society. If you remember last chapter, Higuruma got originally offered the position to become a judge, but he ended up declining the offer because of his ideologies on society as a whole and his way of thinking that no matter how hard you try, it's nearly impossible to give everyone a fair trial. But this time, if he ends up surviving, and he becomes a judge for the Jujutsu Society, because if we're being honest, the Jujutsu Society definitely needs one with the way how fucked up things are. I also think that would be a nice way for Higuruma to redeem himself and the ability to give proper justice the way he wants to, if that makes sense. But moving on, we jump back to our boy Fushiguro, and the dude's name was Reggie. I almost forgot his name. Reggie says to Fushiguro, oh, you passed. And Fushiguro's like, huh? Reggie says, that's enough. I can tell that your Shikigami is quite something. You're strong. He then adds, if you are weak, I just have an easy target to kill. But you're good. Come on, you should ally with us. And the girl that betrayed Megami, for those who forgot, Remy, thinks, okay, well, he's never mentioned this to me before. Megami then goes on to say, what do you mean? Reggie then says to Megami, how much do you know about the Culling Game? Megami then thinks, okay, I'll keep quiet about the Tenjin-sama thing. So he's going to try and give Tenjin a vague response. Megami then says, it's a ritual that takes advantage of the cursed energy belonging to players inside the barrier. To cross, the people depend to the other shore, turning them non-human in the process. Reggie then says, what? You friends with Kenjaku or something? And Megami's, I thought there'd be one, a sorcerer who's colluding with Kenjaku. Reggie then says, what you just said about taking advantage of the player's cursed energy is most likely a facade. No, rather than a facade. And Megami's like, wait, what? Reggie then explains to us, he thinks there's a secondary or tertiary plan. His basis is the following 3. Number of players, difference in abilities of players in the barrier rule. If approximately 1,000 players were to be equally distributed in 10 colonies, there will be 100 people in each colony. But among the players, there are sorcerers that are exceptionally strong, such as Kashimo and Higuruma. 60 sorcerers have already been called by these two alone. There should be at least one person in each colony that is on a similar level. Megami then goes on to think, well, I certainly felt that it was too quiet inside the barrier. He then says to Reggie, so Only the strong will remain after the early stages, and the Culling game will reach a deadlock. Reggie then goes on to tell us it already has, at least in here and in Tokyo number 2. He then goes on to explain, on top of that, there's a teleportation that occurs when entering the Culling game that we saw happen to Yuji and Megumi. And scattering people is probably one of its objectives, but its number one goal is most likely to stimulate an early secondary awakening in the modern sorcerers. He then goes on to ask, some have died from this teleportation. If they really wanted to take advantage of players' cursed energy, they'd want as many sorcerers to have long and drawn out battles. The permanence stated in the rules is just a cover to hide their true plan. And this is the part of the chapter that had me like, whoa, what the fuck? We didn't see Kenjaku. And Reggie then goes on to explain, Kenjaku will drop a bomb after there's the strong ones left, and the Culling games will have fulfilled its role. We then see Kenjaku when it appears in front of the Chinese administration, and they say to him in Chinese, sit down. Kenjaku then says to them in Chinese, thanks for inviting me. So I don't know what Kenjaku has stored in mind. You know, a good YouTube friend of mine named Pyron has been telling me Kenjaku, he's the real deal. And to be honest, up until this chapter, I mean, Kenjaku has slowly exceeded my expectations as a villain. I don't know what to say, bro. Kenjaku, man, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Anyways, back to the chapter. Reggie then goes on to explain to Megumi he don't know what the bomb will be, and it may not be far out. It could even happen right now. But to prepare for that, he's recruiting powerful allies and accumulating points. Megumi then says, okay, cool, I have some questions. He then points to Remy and says to Reggie, she doesn't seem strong to me, and once she's clueless, you can kill her and turn her into points. Reggie then says, oh no, she's just bait, chosen randomly to lure players, since they are less cautious towards women. And then he says, what are you saying? I would never do that. Remy then goes on to explain to Megumi, Reggie-sama is my true knight. He'll protect me as long as I devote myself to him. Megumi then calls her a simpleton and says, do you and your friends have 100 points combined? Reggie then says, well, yeah. Megumi then says, a rule will be added soon to allow points to be transferred among players. He then says to Reggie, hand over all your points, then I'll consider joining your group. And Reggie says negotiation failed. In the middle of this, we see some random dude come right behind Megumi and try to attack him. Thankfully, Megumi, I don't know how he does it, but you know, he does his shadow technique and I don't know, he ends up dragging him and he actually throws him off the balcony. In the middle of this, Megumi's Shikigami dog goes to attack Reggie. But while this is happening, to make sure, you know, the dude that Megumi threw off the balcony stays down, he calls in Nui. And Nui, you know, he sends that boy, bro, he sends him crashing down. At the middle of this, Remy's like, wait, that bird had it out this whole entire time. So, you know, Megumi, Shikigami, they don't play, man. They know the drill. They know what time it is. In the middle of this, Megumi says to Remy, hey, never show me your face again. And, you know, Remy just starts panicking. Bro, Megumi is Toji's son. You know, Megumi is Toji's son. But Megumi, before he leaves his building, he better get 100 points. Back to the chapter though. We see Reggie actually makes quick work of Megumi's dog. Megumi appears shocked. Reggie then says to Megumi, oh, so that's how it is. You seem tepid because you can't kill us since you want our points. However, if you don't fight with intent to kill, you'll regret it once you're dead. In the middle of this, we see an eyeball dropping down. And I'm not too sure. Could that be the possible bomb that Reggie was talking about? Anyways, guys, that is how we end the chapter. Looks like we're about to get a 1v1 fight between Megumi and Reggie, or who knows, Reggie could have a whole bunch of goons at his side ready to, you know, jump Megumi. Anyways, I'm interested in this fight to see how this goes. I can't wait for the next chapter. The Culling games has been nothing short of amazing. It's only been like, what? I want to say 10 chapters? Man, I've absolutely been loving the Culling games. Jujutsu Kaisen is the best-selling manga of the year. Congratulations to Gege Akutami. Congratulations to the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom. Shout out to every fan who went out and bought Jujutsu Kaisen, who's been reading Jujutsu Kaisen, who's been enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. 2021 has been nothing short of amazing for Jujutsu Kaisen. I know 2022 is going to even be a better year. So brace yourselves. I hope you guys really enjoyed this year's Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm so excited. Yeah, guys. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Hit the subscribe button for more content. In December, during this month, I plan on having a whole bunch of awesome Jujutsu Kaisen content once the college semester is over. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching once again. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care. Peace. See you in the next one.